Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pits the Motorcast. This is your host, Dave. And I got on the line with me special guest, David Cookman. Welcome to the show, David.
Thank you, Dave. Thanks for having me.
Oh, no problem. So, David, you got the altered car, but it doesn't run on alcohol. It doesn't run on nitro. Tell us what it runs on.
Runs on 116 octane Sunoco race fuel. It's a little slower than the faster classes, but you kind of got to race within your budget, you know.
Now, are there a lot of altered that run like that out there?
Yeah, we run a class out here called Dragster Roadster. I run a Woodburn drag strip, and I started watching it quite a few years ago before I was even running it. And they used to run 20, 25 cars. We're down, I think this year we should be averaging 16 to 17 cars at a race. And it's no electronics, all manual, and you can have a trans brake, and that's about it.
So, last year, did you run the car?
Yeah, this will be my fourth year in the car. I raced 74 Oldsmobile Omega for about 12 years, so this car came available. I sold that car and bought this one and started running it. So it's a really good car. I've watched this one race probably 17 years, having other people drive it, and I jumped at the chance when I got to buy it.
So how did 217 go for you?
It wasn't bad. I ended up third in points. I was hoping to be sitting one or two. Had a little trouble with the last race, so it wouldn't fire for second round, but I think we've got that handled. I ended up two runner-ups, a couple quarterfinal finishes, and couple first-round exits.
So in the 4 years you've been running this car, what's the quickest run time you've had?
With the second motor in it, I ran an 879 at 158.
Not bad.
No, not bad at all. The engine of my car is owned by a good friend of mine, so he takes care of it, maintains it, and lets me play with his toys, so it's a lot of fun.
So now, when it all began for you in drag racing, what got you into drag racing?
I got into drag racing in 1972. I was in first grade, and we moved one town from where I lived, from Forest Grove to Cornelius, and my next-door neighbor drove a top fuel dragster. So that was my first exposure to a race car, and got a chance to go down to the shop and look at it. And about a week later, I got a chance to go down and hear him start it, and that was phenomenal. And a couple weeks after that, I got to go to my first race, and I was hooked, and it was all I ever wanted to do.
And then what year did you start racing?
I started racing. Let's see. Let me count. I made my first passes, I think, in 2002. So I've been at it about 15 years.
So when you started, you said you were driving a bracket car?
Yep, I had an Oldsmobile. When I got it, I was running high 15 seconds. And my friend that owns the motor, Stan Couch, I would clean his shop and trade for car parts. And we took that car from a 15-second car down to running 1370s, 1380s at 98 miles an hour, pretty consistent. But it was a great car. But to go faster, I had to part with it.
So what year did you part with that car?
I sold that right before I bought my other car 4 years ago. Yeah, about 4 years ago. I listed it about 2 weeks later. It sold, and I haven't looked back since.
So, is anyone driving the other car now?
What was that?
The car that you got sold, is anyone driving that thing, racing it now?
I keep watching it. I know the guy that bought it from me turned around and ended up selling it. It was a 74 Oldsmobile Omega, very similar to a Nova, and he ended up, it was a little more work than he wanted to tackle with it, so he ended up selling it and buying more of a race-ready Nova that was a little more easier to work to get to the point where he wanted it. It's running. He runs. I bidded by him last year, and we talked quite a bit. It's running low tens in the quarter with what he has now. But no, I haven't found it. If I saw it again and I had the money, I think I'd buy it back.
So when you started drag racing, do you have any inspirational drag racers out there that were racing back then?
It was cool growing up in the era I did. Like I say, going in the early 70s, and with Ernie Hall was my neighbor. He was a Division 6 runner. He knew everybody. So as a little kid, I got to meet Don Garlitz, Don Perdome, Ed McCullough is from my area too. Twig Ziegler, Gordy Bonin. I had a lot of cool people to look up to. Probably my favorite drivers is Noah, and take a look at the Revolution car, and it always stuck with me. I've got a few models of it, and some die casts, and almost, I shouldn't call it trying, but I got enough stuff that would fill up a shelf.
No, you were a big collector back then, huh?
I still do. I wish I had all my handout cards from the 70s. Somewhere between moves and stuff and having kids and growing up, a lot of them disappeared. But yeah, I still like to collect the stuff. I don't collect as much now because if I'm going to spend money, I'm going to probably put it into the car.
Yeah.
But once in a while, I still buy stuff. It's fun to have sitting on the shelf. And
yeah, I got a collection of handout cards going on. My wife's like, "You getting so many, I'm gonna start throwing them in the garbage."
Oh no, you can't throw those. I had a racer give me about 4 boxes full of them, and I haven't had a chance to go through them all yet. But it's pretty cool. I like seeing them. It brings back a lot of good memories, and it's just it was a good place to, like I say, good place to grow up, a good place to run around as a kid.
Yeah, I used to have a bunch when I was a kid. When I used to go with my dad, I don't think I have them no more though. Yeah, like,
I'll send you a few of mine. I've got a bunch of duplicates.
I used to have like Shirley Muldowney and Don Garlitz and all them, the Snake, the Mongoose, everybody.
Yeah, Don Garlitz was somebody I really enjoyed watching too because he was innovative. He wasn't afraid to try different things. And one place I really want to go someday is his museum down in Florida.
Yeah, we passed by there, but we didn't go in. When we went to Disneyland, we passed right by the Don Garlitz Museum.
Yeah.
We did, actually. Yeah, because we were on right on the road past it.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, what part of Florida is that thing in?
I can't pronounce the town. I'm going to butcher the town name. Ocala? Ocala? I think it's down... I can't remember the name of the Air Force Base. Like I say, it's on my list if I ever get down that far. I've never been to Florida, but I don't think it's too far from Disney World. Somebody can probably log on and correct me on that, I'm sure. So
yeah. So when you start,
when I get serious about going, I'll get the directions and I'll definitely get there.
That's on your bucket list, though.
What was that?
I said that's on your bucket list.
That is a big one on my bucket list. I say it's got to be something I'm going to do one of these days. So hopefully.
Now, when you first started drag racing, was your family involved with you?
Yeah, very much so. They used to always go. I went till about '89, and then when I met my wife, I kind of took a little break right in that era. But when our kids were young, we were looking for something to do, and we ran down to Woodburn on a Saturday for a nostalgia race. And I said to myself that weekend, I said, I'm not getting any younger. I better start. If I'm going to ever race, I better get going. So that's when I started putting together a car. I started putting together a little Vega. Ended up selling it when I got my Oldsmobile. But yeah, my wife is my crew chief, and my daughter and son-in-law are my crew. And I've had my other kids down there with me too. We just have a good time down there. It's very, very much of a family thing for us. I've raced with other people helping me, but I'm most comfortable when My wife and daughter get me strapped in. My son-in-law, I never have to worry about air pressure, fuel. He walks up to the line with me, looks at things. I can signal to him, and he knows exactly what I'm talking about. So it's a very much of a comfort thing to have for me to have my family involved.
Yeah. So do you have any sponsors for the car?
I do. I have a few good ones. My biggest one, I would say, would be Affordable Automotive, who owns my engine and keeps me in my oil and, basically gives me the power plant to do what I do. The second one is a metal fabrication and powder coating place in town, RDF&P, and they do a lot of stuff for Intel. And he's been a friend for years, and I was telling him about looking for sponsors, and he said, how much would it take? And I told him, and he leaned over his wife and said, hey, can I do something? And she goes, yeah. They've been on my car ever since, before I even ran it, their name was on it. And they're going to be with me again this year. So very, very happy about that.
So, David, what was it like getting behind the wheel for the first time of this car?
It was an interesting procedure. Going through my licensing, the first shot was a half pass, a floor pass. And I was talking to somebody who just went through the same thing, and he said, guaranteed, you'll forget the shift. I said, no, I'll remember. So I get up there stage and take off, and I get out of it, and I forgot the shift. The second pass was a moderate pass, and I think I ran like a 12-something. The next pass, that's all I got through that day. The next time I went down, I ran a 10-second pass. And it was about 120-something. I wasn't real confident on it. Turned off onto the return road, and I broke an A-arm on the front end. So limped it back. Couldn't get it fixed on the weekend, so I had my local chassis guy. He put a new front end on it for me. Went out for the next race weekend and took out the torque converter. First day of a 3-day weekend, so I was done for the weekend on that one. I had my transmission gone again. So I had 3 passes. I broke it twice. And so I got everything fixed. Went down on a Friday night with a friend of mine to finish my licensing so I could race the next weekend. And made 4 passes that night. And I had to be down below 10 seconds or 100 passes at 135. And I was determined to get it. And so first pass and my foot clear of the floor was a little nerve-wracking because things are going by pretty quick. But I knew I had to keep my foot in it because I had to get all my passes in and my signatures done. So I made 4 passes, 3 of them counted, got all my signatures, got my license and my number, and the next weekend I could line up next to somebody and actually compete, which was a lot of fun. But yeah, it's going from a 13-second car to something running mid-9s at that time. It was definitely an experience.
Now with this group that you run with, how many events a year do you usually run?
Our normal season was 7. We negotiated for 9 races at Woodburn this year, and those will be our main points races. And then we try and go to a few different tracks throughout the summer too. I think we'll probably have 4 away trips that we're going to take, either part of the group or the whole group. And I'm probably only going to make 2 of them. My daughter and son-in-law who crew for me, they're due for their first child the 1st of August. So, and since most of my crew is them and my wife, I know if there's a birth going on, I'll be at the hospital instead of the racetrack.
Yeah.
But it's a good point series. Like I said, I came in 3rd last year, which was a lot of fun. I was pretty happy with my performance. But having a few more races, a few more chances to gather points, I'm hoping to come out on top this year.
So have you ever ran at Bakersfield?
So what was that?
Have you ever ran at Bakersfield?
I haven't. It's another one thing on my list. I want to get the car running so it'll run NE2 860 numbers. So So I'm going to take a little more engine work. I'll probably, before I get down to Bakersfield, I want to run it, get it running on injected on alcohol. And so I can hit the 860 number and go down and run NE2 with those guys.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's another one along with the Garlits Museum. Bakersfield is huge on my bucket list. It's probably about a 16-hour tow for me from here.
Yeah, I know they got the big March meet coming up next weekend.
Next weekend, yeah, I'm gonna put in buy the package from Bang Shift and watch it all weekend. So if you ever watched their coverage on the March meet, it's great coverage. It's racing 20. I mean, from the start to the finish of the day, they just keep a live broadcast going with very little announcing from the person filming. You get to hear the tower and see the cars making passes.
And what month do they do the Hot Rod reunion? What month is that one?
That one's in September? No, it actually goes in October, I believe. And if I do one, I'll probably, when I do Bakersfield, I'll do the March meet. It's kind of a good nostalgic feel to it. I like the event they put on. It's just cool. We were going to road trip down a few years ago with some friends, though it didn't come to fruition.
So, how many tracks have you ran on with the Altered?
I've ran 2 tracks since I've had it. We haven't done a whole lot of away stuff. I wanted to make sure the thing was running solid and going. I took on coordinating our dragster roadster group, so I get kind of tied up and down on some of the weekends. But by the end of next year, I'll have 3 other tracks in my belt that I can run on. We have about 6 within 5 hours of me right here where I am, and that's about it. I mean, with the setup I have now, that's about as far as I'll tow. When I get a different truck and trailer setup, I'll probably look at some a little bit farther.
So the two tracks that you ran on, are they both quarter mile?
Woodburn's a quarter mile. I went and ran a little track in Madras, Oregon, which is Central Oregon, and it's an 8-mile track. In the 50s and 60s, it was a full quarter mile, but due to deteriorating surface and low budget, they ran an 8. It's very nostalgic feel. It's got an old wooden tower that's weather worn. It's still got the Armco on the guardrails, and it's a fairly rough track. I mean, I had to paddle a couple times on just a short 8 mile, and fairly bouncy, especially for an unsuspended car.
Now,
I definitely like the quarter mile racing better.
Now, David, when you get ready for a weekend of drag racing, what goes into preparation for you?
We're going to be back on our motorhome this year, so a lot will be loaded up. But for the last 2 years, we've been just working out of the back of a pickup. So during the week, I get the car. The car gets ready first. Make sure it's exactly where it needs to be, and then the day before, the scooter goes to the back of the truck, and everything's stacked around it, tents, coolers, food, all that. Then we head down, set up camp, and once it's set up, then it's, usually we go down on Friday night. Once in a while, I'll run a test and tune on Friday night, but usually we get there, get set up, and start hanging out with our friends and running around the pits and visiting. But yeah, it's a pretty low-key maintenance car. If I can get done with the weekend, and get it back home, change the fluid, go through, just check everything, run the valves, and then during the race weekend, it's usually just fuel it up and go. It's kind of about the top of the level where you can do that. The next step for me would be moving up a faster class, and then it's a lot more work involved.
Well, you said you were thinking about going alcohol injected, right?
Yeah, that'd like to be my next move. Probably go with a tunnel ram with an Enderley hat like that. It's a little I like the look of the 8-stack injection, but the Enderley hat, a little easier to tune with, and a little more user-friendly for somebody like me. It'd be a little bit of a learning curve.
So now
that's when my budget gets a little bit bigger.
Right. So where do you get your fire suit from, David?
My what?
Your fire suit.
I have an RJS fire suit, and I kind of got a mismatch. I bought my suit new. I sold a travel trailer for that, but it's a nice one-piece black suit. It's very comfortable. I run crow boots. I use my helmet is I forget the name of it. Let's see. Oh, it's a Zamp. They're actually imported in from Vancouver, not far from where I am. And yeah, and I got DJ arm support, so I've got a little bit of mix mash. I'll run this suit till it's good, and then after this one goes out and it's not good, I'm gonna save up the money and I'm gonna buy Dennis Taylor suit. So Taylor Motorsports. We're in California. They move it up to Albany, Oregon. Dennis is a friend of mine, but he makes some of the suits for a lot of the big show guys, a lot of the alcohol classes, and makes a wonderful suit. I mean, it fits nice, and where a lot of them aren't custom fit, his suits fit you really nice.
Okay. Now throughout your drag racing career, have you had any accidents or near accidents at all?
I've been pretty lucky. Probably the closest thing I've had to an accident, like I say, I've had parts failures, and been pretty lucky. It wasn't on the track. I thought I took out a transmission this last year. I ended up, it was just blowing the overflow line. It blew hot transmission fluid on me, on my feet, under the cars. I got it stopped about mid-track, but I was probably the closest thing I came. I ran a non-prep track where I've had to pedal it a few times. It scared my wife, but for me it was just good driving practice. It's a hard thing to kind of, when you go sideways, you can't manufacture it, so when you get a chance to kind of run it that way, it kind of teaches you how to get things straightened out. So, but I've been really lucky. Really lucky. I've been around enough cars and I've seen enough wrecks that I really don't want to go through with one. I appreciate my safety gear. I usually never complain about it because I know when the time comes and I do need it, I'll be glad I have all of it on.
Yeah. So how old are your kids?
My kids, I've got two 23-year-olds. I got a set of twin boys. I've got a 24-year-old son and a 25-year-old daughter.
So none of the kids want to do drag racing?
They've on my Oldsmobile. Two of my kids have drove the Oldsmobile and had a good time. My daughter has driven it, and then two of her other cars out there bracket racing. She's probably out of all of them. She loves the sport the most. They had a car wreck a couple weeks ago, and they got a Dodge Challenger as a rental car, and she was digging that. She said they're going to end up buying one, but yeah, I think she will. I'd like to see my son-in-law. He's got a standing offer to get in my car and run it. He just hasn't taken me up on it yet. So yeah, and then I've got three grandkids. My son that got married last year married a lady that has three kids, and I've got a 3-year-old grandson that loves cars. So I have a feeling somewhere in my future will be
junior dragsters.
Yeah.
That's good.
Oh yeah, we got to bring up another generation of racers. You know, it's you look around the track, and a lot of times the diehard racers that are out there all the time are fairly old.
Right.
So need to bring up some younger kids who appreciate the front motor cars, like the nostalgia of it. It's a good feel, and as much as I appreciate what they can do at the big show and the speeds they go, I prefer really supporting a local track. And the front motor cars, not a lot of electronics, and it's really entertaining. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. So now throughout your drag racing career, have you won any trophies?
I've got quite a few plaques. It's funny, I negotiated one of our races to be a doubleheader, and we plaques for winner, runner-up on Saturday, trophy on Sunday. I ended up winning the Saturday race. So, and I didn't win the side. I was hoping to double up, but it just didn't work out. So I got plaques. Woodburn does a really cool piston trophy, and I've been wanting one of those for a long time. I'm really going to try this year to bring one of those home. So I like my plaques, but I really want to get a decent trophy.
Yeah, you already got a place set up where you're gonna put it, a spot to put it.
Oh, you bet. you got to be ready, right?
Yeah. So, David, you ready for the fun questions now?
Oh, yeah.
If someone gave you $150 million and they said, "Hey, David, can you build me a drag race track?" Where would you build the track, and what kind of features would you put into the track?
I would build one in my local area out here. I live kind of right on the fringe of Portland, on the outskirts. I would find some property out of ways, buy it. It would be, I would go, because I like the nostalgia, I'd go with a nostalgic looking tower. It'd be an all concrete surface all the way down, quarter mile. With that kind of money, I'd probably go paved pits. And I'd probably keep a section of grass for the people who like to camp out in there. I'd have a lighted surface because night races are a blast. And I'd have great spectator parking. I probably wouldn't cater toward the big show, but I'd push a lot of nostalgia races. I would do my best to keep that feel going. Bring in some of the nostalgia nitro funny cars that are getting so popular now. It's a kick. I would build it up as look-wise as much as possible, an old school track.
How about the
And of course, with that money, I'd have to build me a car that burns nitro too, though. So.
Yeah. Do you have any hobbies outside of drag racing?
A few. I do like to fish. I do a bit of hunting, like to shoot. Let's see. That's kind of bad. I shouldn't say I'm a workaholic. I enjoy my job, and I do a lot of side work, and that keeps me busy. I do woodworking. I guess I'd call that a hobby now. It used to be a career, but build furniture. I build, kind of stuff you can't go out and buy in stores for people.
Please build furniture.
Which is fun. I like to think about it and take it from raw material to a finished product. I get a lot of enjoyment out of that.
Okay, David, hold on. When you go fishing, where do you go fishing at?
Most of the time when I'm fishing, I like fishing the coastal streams and lakes for trout, and I like bluegill, crappie, bass. I used to fish the high mountain lakes and the Cascades, and there you get a lot of brook trout. I just finished a side job for a man who does a lot of salmon fishing. He's a guide, and in doing the work I did for him, I got my wife and I a spring Chinook trip on the Willamette River. So
Nice.
I'm excited about that. My wife's always wanted a big fish.
Does she go fishing?
Huh?
Does she go fishing?
She does. She loves to fish.
Okay, look. You and your wife and me and Dave need to get together and go fishing.
You guys like to fish?
I love fishing. I got a lake in my backyard.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Where you guys live at?
That's something I cannot discuss on air.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what general area. I never really looked at what general area you guys are in. So
We're in the Midwest.
okay. So you're a little ways away from me, but that is all. What do you have in the lake?
We got pikes, catfish, bullheads, bass, drums, bluegills, turtles, crawfish.
Oh, yeah.
We got a shit ton of fish.
Yeah, I would love that. My dad was raised in North Dakota.
Salmon and
And he
trout.
fished. Huh?
We get salmon and trout in there.
Oh yeah. Oregon is really good for that. My coworker is a extreme. I mean, I like fishing. He likes fishing like I like drag racing.
Yeah.
He fishes all the time, and the nice thing about that is he catches them, and he usually will give me I usually get a lot of salmon and steelhead from him.
Nice. So let me ask you this. What kind of music you like?
What kind of music? I've got a pretty wide range. Like I say, I'm 51, so a lot of the music I like now plays on the classic station. Led Zeppelin, Ozzy Osbourne, Ronnie James Dio,
Yes.
AC/DC, but I'm also I'm a Christian, and I like a lot of the new contemporary Christian music.
It's okay.
So I have a pretty wide range of likes in my music. It depends on my mood for the day. Not a big country fan. I like guitars. Like I say, I think I was about in 6th grade when I found rock and roll, and can't remember the first song I heard, but Queen, Styx, a lot of fun. Tom Petty. I'm a big Tom Petty fan. It was really hard to hear when he passed.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Music is nothing without rock into it.
Yeah. It was a rough year, definitely.
Oh, yeah. Rock and roll, baby. I love Ozzy Osbourne. I got Diary of a Madman and vinyl hanging on my wall.
Yeah, that was my favorite album. I think I was in junior high still. But it was great.
My album is vintage. It's no scratches, never been touched.
Do you still have a record player you can play it on?
Yeah, but I don't play that album. No, I have a copy of that album I play.
Okay.
I got one of those record players.
Wait.
I got one of those record players you hook up to the laptop and you can play it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I like those. I had an old one that I converted and it finally died this last year. I got one that has a CD player and a radio and stuff in it, but I still have. I don't have a lot of vinyl, but I've been slowly kind of building it up again. And yeah, I love music.
Thousands of vinyls, dude. Thousands. Can't go wrong with that. Vinyls are
It seems like there's a collector on that, so that'd be interesting to see a lot of. Do you have a lot of pictures on the website of it?
I have them on my Facebook page.
Okay. Friend request. I know I have Dave. I don't know if I have you on there or not.
No, I'll send you a friend request. Anyways, so what was I going to ask? I was going to ask... Huh?
Food.
What's your favorite food? What's your favorite food, David?
My favorite what?
Food.
Food.
Food? Oh, that's a hard subject now. We're doing Weight Watchers in my house. I'm trying to get back down. I'm trying to lose about 15 pounds before race season, but I love Chinese food. I used to like it really, really hot and spicy. I'm more of a but medium of the road person now. But yeah, I love Chinese food. I can't beat it. I mean, a typical racetrack meal on our Saturday night is steaks, corn on the cob, and then some type of a dessert. But I like to. Right now, I'm eating a lot of stuff like rice cakes and vegetables because I know they're good for me. But I'm not always happy about it.
Do you eat tofu?
I try.
Okay, listen. I like Oriental food, but my favorite is Japanese over Chinese. I hate Chinese.
Oh yeah? You like the Japanese?
Yeah, because Dave's Japanese.
Okay. I was wondering. I never want to ask that question, I guess.
It's okay. And I'm Greek, German, and Assyrian. I make souvlaki's, baklava, shawarma, gyros, hummus, shish kebabs.
Now you're making me hungry.
Falafels.
I love shish kebab, and we have a racer at our track that's Greek. And usually for one race of the year, they bring out, they do a full Greek meal. I can't remember everything they cook, but
Dolma.
Phenomenal.
Dolma, the grape leaves, stuffed grape leaves, you know.
Yep.
Listen, you haven't had shish kebab till you had mine, because the shish kebabs, this recipe's been stolen from us. This is my family's original recipe. It dates back thousands.
That sounds really good.
It dates back thousands of years, and the gyros and the hummus and all that shit. It dates back thousands of years. My recipes.
Well, I'm gonna have to get to the Midwest and try some of it. I gotta say that.
Yeah, I'll invite you over. My mom will cook for you and your wife. We had a restaurant.
So
I'll invite you over. My mom will cook for you guys.
no, but we can get back there. I've got a friend who might be going to be racing in Nebraska in the next year or 2 years. He's got a family member that lives back there. If that's anywhere close, you might end up getting some house guests.
How about Joliet?
I've never been back there for that. Is that close? I mean, because I can't ask that on the air. So.
It's Illinois. Yeah, it's close to me. And Great Lakes Dragway.
Cool.
And Great Lakes Dragway is close to me. And Cordova and Rockford and a lot of other drag races.
I watch a lot of videos and stuff, and I watch a lot of stuff from the Great Lakes. Their funny car association they run. So.
Oh yeah.
So do you get out to those tracks very often?
Yeah, we go there all the time.
I'm kind of jealous.
live video, camera video, pictures. The video camera, we take all kinds of shit. We post it all over the internet. We got like thousands of views.
Those are like really fun tracks to race at. I'd love to. I mean, someday, Great Lakes. That's a pretty good haul for me, but that'd be a fun track to run at.
So where are you from?
I live out
California.
West of Portland, Oregon.
Okay.
I'm about an hour and a half from the Pacific Ocean, so.
So you live in Oregon.
Yep.
So I don't mean to get political, but do you support the president?
Oh, 100%.
Yes, thank you. I love you. I knew you supported him. I knew right away.
I'll share a picture of my Greek friend Tom on his car. He had a big Trump sticker on the side of his car, and he raced it all up and down. He caught a lot of flack for it, but he raced it all up and down the West Coast.
Oh, there's so many cars.
Yeah, no, I firmly support it. The biggest thing I like about him is he's not a politician.
Hell yeah.
And he knows how to get stuff done.
Hell yeah. And also, we got cars out here in Illinois, Wisconsin that have Trump stickers on them or have Trump painted on them. We got race cars out here. Pro mods. Pro mods.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Who's that guy, Doc Holliday? Is it Doc Holliday? No, it's not Doc Holliday. Who is it?
Okay.
No, I'm asking Dave. What's his name? He lives over here in that farm, that jets. He has that farm with the plane. Whatever his name is. Dave will tell you later. Now, what's your favorite drink? Non-alcoholic or alcoholic? You can pick either one.
My favorite drink would be coffee.
I was just drinking coffee today.
Yeah, I've got a cup right in front of me right now. So yeah, that's my drink. I don't usually drink much alcohol. When I was in high school, I'd call myself a teenage alcoholic.
Yep, me too.
I pretty much quit before I was 21.
Me too. Same here. Same story. Got drunk, got fucked, slept in the alley or slept at my friend's house, whatever.
Yep, I at the racetrack, I mean, I have such a good time. I mean, I don't need it. Nothing against it personally, but I just did something that I really don't need.
Yeah, don't want pancreas disease or some shit. Or liver failure. Or liver disease. Or kidney failure, whatever. Anyways, so, on, coffee, what type of coffee you drink?
Usually whatever's brewing, but, I really like the Hawaiian.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the Hawaiian coffees really well. Like I say, Starbucks is from the Seattle area. I'm not a big Starbucks fan.
Me neither.
We have a company out here called Dutch Brothers.
Oh yeah, I like that company. Huh.
Oh yeah, I like their coffee, but usually for me, I'm not real fancy. I drink it just black.
Okay, Mom. Yeah. Today I drank French roast coffee.
But it's I don't know, coffee and water. I don't like a lot of soda.
Well, sometimes I gotta get the caffeine in me. I gotta drink soda.
Yeah.
Because I'm not.
I hit the coffee. I can drink it before bed and it doesn't bother me. So.
Do you drink coffee at the track too?
Oh yeah.
Okay, now let me ask you this. Now let me ask you this: if you could time travel, back in time, where would you time travel to?
That's a hard question. I like the early days of drag racing, but I'm also a big Western fan. I would love to go back to the 1880s and when they were coming west and kind of live a few years as a cowboy, as a pioneer, as a explorer. I think that would have been a neat time to be in when stepping out into this area I live in now and seeing it when nothing was here.
So let me ask you, are you a Clint Eastwood fan?
Huh?
Are you a Clint Eastwood fan?
Oh yeah. I've always liked Clint Eastwood.
Right.
Back, when he was making the spaghetti westerns all through the Every Which Way But Loose years. I love Gran Torino.
Is that your favorite movie?
Favorite movie? That'd be let's see. American Graffiti is one of my favorite movies.
Okay.
I like Two Lane Blacktop.
Okay.
But for as a Western, Clint Eastwood, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly would have to be my favorite on that.
Okay.
That's a great movie.
What's your favorite movie of all time growing up?
Of all time growing up?
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. Ever heard of a movie out of Canada called Strange Brew?
Yeah.
That's, I watch that so much I quote almost every line of it. Me and my best friend loved that show. So, of all time, Strange Brew or Blazing Saddles would be the two that I'd say my favorite.
Is he hammer? You know what I'm talking about. Can play? Hold on. Huh? No. No, that movie with John Candy in it. He's a judge. Got him a daughter. Demi Moore.
Candy's not in it.
Demi Moore.
It's Nothing But Trouble.
Oh, my favorite movie is Nothing But Trouble.
Nothing But Trouble?
Yep.
Chevy Chase,
I don't think I've ever seen that. When was that made?
Oh, back in the 80s.
Chevy Chase.
Okay.
Chevy Chase, Dan Aykroyd, Demi Moore.
Oh, okay.
Kid and Play, you know.
No, not Kid.
Humpty Hump. You know the Humpty Hump rapper? It's the Humpty Dance, it's your chance to the Humpty Hump. So.
I can't remember that one. I'll have to watch it.
It's where they're in a junkyard and then the villain people get turned into sausage and they eat it. It's like a funny movie.
I'll have to look. It sounds like it'd be funny. So
okay.
I like funny. I like to laugh. So
if people want to find events,
now if people want to find events for your upcoming events this year, where would they go?
My upcoming events. I've been a little bit slow. I've got a Cookman Family Racing Facebook page. And I try and keep it updated. I've been a little bit slow because I've been extremely busy in my evenings. But Cookman Family Racing on Facebook, if you like the page, you'll see what's going on with us, where we're going, where we're going to be. I try and post a lot of pictures. I try and get some in-car video on that too.
Okay.
I'm going to play with my GoPro and throw in some different spots on the car this year and see if I can get some different angles.
Okay, well, thank you for coming on. Do you have any last words for the fans out there?
Just go out and support your local drag strips. Find the ones closest to you. Go out and tell your friends and fall in love with a sport that is just a ton of fun. And if you're ever wondering about it, take your streetcar out on a street legal night and start making laps. Or got to start somewhere.
Support nostalgia drag racing, you mean?
It's a great sport.
Yes. Well, let's hang on the phone, okay?